All right, y'all. So Charlie Adelson's here. Now, Charlie Adelson has already been convicted, has already been sentenced. Of course, he's probably going to appeal. His mama, Donna Adelson, has already been arrested. Her trial date is set for, was it beginning of fall, I think? I think it was beginning of fall. But he is on here because his sister was in a very contentious divorce with a man named Dan Markel. And somehow, magically, he just got killed by 2 hitmen. Now, they're trying to say that it wasn't tied to this rich family all the way down in Miami. The hitman, that should happen in Tallahassee. So they're trying to say that, like, oh, we weren't involved in it. We're just some good old folks in Miami. We're prestigious people. We're white, affluent. We got lots of money. We are dentists, and I think they're just all dentists, right? I think the older son is a doctor, but he's already kind of like split from the family. But now they're kind of changing the story a little bit, and Charlie's going up there and he's trying to say that, like, well, they knew I had a lot of cash. I was dating this girl named, what was her name again? Katie. Katie with the boobies. I was dating this girl named Katie, and she knew I had a lot of cash on me. So they must have killed this guy in order to blackmail me and say that, like, hey, I killed this guy. I'm going to say that you hired me to do it. If you don't give me money, I'm going to say all this to the cops, which doesn't make sense. It's like, why would you kill someone in order to rob someone? Just fucking rob someone outright. Like, it makes no sense. So he was trying to say that, like, oh, I guess I'm being blackmailed. And this happened about 9-10 years after the death of Dan Markel. So I haven't seen this cross-examination yet. I can't wait for Georgia Cappleman, who is the state prosecutor. Can't wait for her to go into this guy. Okay. Because the Adelson family, they seem like pieces of shits. Okay. Pieces of shits. Now, they haven't gone after Wendy yet. Wendy was a witness in this case. Wendy's his sister. Donna's going down. That's his mama. Harvey Adelson is the father. We don't really know what the involvement is, but I mean, I have an inkling that he probably knew, okay? Because there's been some stuff that's been mentioned about him, and they went after the 2 hitmen, and they went after Katie, who was the in-between of the hitman and the Adelson family. Back when Charlie Adelson was doing a smug, elite face, I've seen the screenshots of his face during trial. Yes, very, very smug. He was like laughing. He was there confident. I think he was trying to be likable to the jury. But we all saw his face during sentencing. That entire thing just dropped, okay? We saw the true Charlie Adelson when he was, when the verdict came out, sorry. When the verdict came out and the sentencing as well. What is up with this audio? Wait, maybe it's just so far away from the...
Is it doctor?
It is, yes.
All right, doctor.
No, the audio. What is going on with this audio?
Mr. Adelson. Is it doctor?
It is, yes.
All right, doctor.
Doctor.
Have you ever heard the saying that the simplest explanation is always the most likely? Have you heard that?
I've heard that theory before, yeah.
Not your contrived bullshit.
Was your explanation to the jury over the last little over a day the simplest explanation?
It was the truth.
You have a thorough explanation. Would you agree with that?
I told you what happened.
Do you agree that the only problem with having an explanation for everything is that there's just so many explanations?
There's no explanation. I explained what happened.
I want to go through some of that. You claim that you were extorted on July 18th, 2014 by Catherine McBanoa and also, in the background, some Latin kings, probably Garcia and Rivera, right? Is that accurate?
No, I wasn't extorted by Catherine McBanoa.
You weren't?
That's not what I believed in 2014.
Okay, I'm sorry. I understood you to say you believe that today.
Today I do, yes.
All right, so who extorted you?
I believe that it was Catherine McBanoa's friend that she ran her mouth to.
Okay.
And that's 2014.
Right, but as you sit here today, you think it's McBanoa, Garcia, and Rivera. Is that accurate?
No, that's not accurate.
Okay. Who extorted you?
As I sit here today, I believe that it was Catherine McBanoa, and I believe Sigfredo Garcia, but I don't know for sure. I was never there when she was ever talking to him, so I don't know if he was in on it with her or not.
All right.
This is not true, Charlie.
At the time, though, you did not think she was guilty. You got that right. The time of the extortion.
In 2014?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Wait, so did she Katie McBanoa, did she completely turn on Charlie? I know Katie testified in Charlie's trial. Maybe she was promised like a reduced sentence if she testified, possibly.
And then so exactly when you found out would be, I think you said, her trial.
That I suspected that she was not telling me the truth and she was a part of it was in 2019.
At her trial?
Yes.
All right. And so she was arrested in 2016, right?
Yes.
All right. So for 3 years, she was in the Leon County Jail awaiting trial, yes?
She was there.
And you believed she was innocent.
Yes.
And you had this whole explanation to assist with exonerating her, right?
I have the truth of what happened, yes.
But you didn't offer the truth of what happened, did you?
Nobody came to me. I thought the truth would come out.
Does someone have to come to you?
I was told not.
Oh, true, because Katie had her trial, and Georgia was like, wait a second, then why didn't you try to exonerate her by helping her out? Georgia!
Not to talk to Katie and not to talk to anybody about this case by counsel.
Okay. So you... strike that.
We need to have like a lawyer tier list, okay? You know how they do like those like tier rankings and stuff? We got to have Georgia Cappleman on there. We got to have Miss, what was her name again? Carrie. What was her last name again? Carrie Morrissey from the Russ trial. We'll put Juan Martinez on there, even though Juan Martinez is in a whole shit show of a mess after the whole Jodi Arias trial. Who else was on there? Who else should we like rate on there? I guess we'll put Gwyneth Paltrow's lawyer on there. Why not? Oh, gotta put all the Depp and the Heard attorneys on there. Hey, Nikki, how are you doing today? I know. How could I forget about Elaine?
On day 1, which is July 18th, 2014.
Oh, Jennifer Crumbley's lawyer. Yes. The prosecutor from Tisha's trial. The prosecutor. You know what? I don't remember the prosecutor from her trial. Yeah, I feel like maybe if I see their face, maybe?
14. She is the only one that physically, which is July 18th, 2014. She is the only one that physically contacted you to conduct this extortion. Am I correct in that?
Yes, you are.
So you never actually had any contact with any Latin King?
No.
No phone calls?
No phone calls.
No texts?
No.
No letters?
Well, in 2016, you're talking about 14, right?
I'm talking about the first layer of the extortion. Did you have any contact with the thugs that were getting your money for 2 years?
No.
Did anybody put a gun to your head?
I was told that I would be killed in 48 hours if I didn't pay up.
I heard you say that, but my question is, did anyone put a gun to your head?
You're asking me, did anyone pull a gun on me?
That's what
Is
I
that
asked
your
you.
question? No, nobody pulled a firearm on me.
All right, so when Catherine Magbanua came to you on July 18th and said, open the safe and give me all your money, she was not armed.
Oh no! Because like, why would Charlie just give her the money, right? Oh no! It's falling apart so much. If Charlie was confronted by Katie plus the 2 thugs, then like I could be like, okay, you know. But like Charlie's like saying like, oh, I never met them. It's like, okay, so you weren't confronted by the 2 thugs. And Katie, did she pull a firearm on you? No. Why'd you give her the fucking money then? You're gonna be killed in 48 hours. I feel like he would just run to the cops. Oh no.
She was not carrying a gun that day,
And
no.
were you armed at that time? Did you have a weapon in your home?
I had weapons in my safe, yes.
Dude, Charlie.
Were you led to believe or told that the bad guys are outside, right outside your apartment or your residence?
No, but I was led to believe what they did to Dan, they were going to do to me.
I heard you say that, but my question is, did she say, like, the car's running, I'm going to take the money out there to him right now?
No, she never told me that they were waiting for me outside my house.
In fact, she stayed the night with you, didn't she?
Oh no.
Yes, she did.
And didn't exit your house with your $138,000 until the next day, right?
Correct.
And the money, the $138,000, was that stapled into $1,000 increments?
Each packet was $1,000, and had a staple in it.
And stapling money's...
Also, why would his mom wash the money and give it to Katie if they were extorting? Like, why wash the money then? Wouldn't you want your fingerprints to be all over it? That way, after you were extorted, you can call the cops and be like, hey, these bitches took my money. My fingerprints are all over it to prove that's my money or something. You know, something like that. Oh, no. Oh, dude, this is just... Oh, God, we're just 5 minutes in. I'm sorry, we're just 5 minutes in. Like, Charlie, your whole story is just falling apart over here.
a little unusual. Would you agree with that?
For me, it wasn't unusual. That's what I did.
Thanks, Moondog. Moondog, thank you so much for the tier 1 set for 21 months on Twitch. Dude, thank you so much for your support. Almost 2 years. I appreciate it. Hope you had a good weekend. The Jodi Arias prosecutor, Juan Martinez, he was very theatrical.
Increments?
Each packet was $1,000, and had a staple in it.
And stapling money's a little unusual. Would you agree with that?
For me, it wasn't unusual. That's what I did.
Right, but Nobody else does it. That's why I'm suggesting it's unusual.
I've never questioned people into how they keep their money, whether they keep it in a staple or a paper clip or an envelope. I just know what I do.
Would you agree, Doctor, that it's a compelling piece of evidence that the killers were paid in stapled money and came up with that information in this case?
It's not compelling. The people who extorted me and got my money got it from my house, and it was stapled in my house.
They had to have gotten it from you, right? Because it was stapled.
If they got it from Katie, they got it from me.
So it had to be some kind of, I paid, but I did it under duress, based on that piece of evidence, right? That had to be built into your defense.
I was extorted, and I paid.
Oh, I see Ruth back here, too. That's Dan Markel's mom. Hold on.
All right, so Katie comes in and
There's Ruth right there. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Ghost. How are you doing today? How's it going?
she's in a panic and she tells you what's happened. And I need all the money in your safe right now. Do you suspect that maybe she's working with the police at that point? Maybe she's trying to set you up?
No, she didn't say I need all the money in your safe. That's not what she said.
Did she take all the money in your safe?
I cleaned out all the money in my safe and handed it to her.
Right. Why did you do that?
Because I was being extorted for $1/3
But why didn't you? The bump was only $5,000, and you immediately became suspicious and questioning and had all these conversations and deliberations
True. The $5,000 bump. It's not like he paid that immediately. Oh, no.
about what to do about it for days. When Katie comes to you, you just open the safe and give her the money, right?
That's what I did, and there's a big difference between the two.
How?
Okay, well, the way that it was done to you, is that the way it's done?
You have to be more specific, please.
Well, on the wire, you say repeatedly, that's not the way it's done. You knew that the undercover agent was law enforcement, or at least strongly suspected, because that's not the way it's done. And my question to you is, since you're an expert on extortion, because you've been extorted before and that's how you knew that's not the way it's done, is this the way it's done? Do extortionists send a girlfriend of their victim to collect their extortion money? Is that the way it's done, doctor?
I'm telling you what happened to me, and I was told that if I didn't pay in 48 hours, I would be killed. The person that came and extorted my mom, that was not the same approach as what happened to me.
Is that the only way? That's the only way it's done? They send the girlfriend?
It's the only time I've ever been extorted like that.
I mean, if anything, the person that approached his mom probably was more scarier in terms of they're like bigger than her. She looked like she was like a tiny little thing. He was bigger. He was a male, you know, and then they were hesitant about paying the $5,000. But when it came to like Katie coming along, it's like, okay, here, take all my money in my safe.
Okay. And did you hear any of the negotiate? So they come in and they say, strike. They come in and they say, we need $333,000.
You need to pay $333,000.
You need to pay $333,000. Why not $1 million?
Exactly.
Because when I had told to Katie that the $1 million offer for Dan Markel, I said I was going to pay $333,000. And when she asked me, do you have that much money? And I said, yeah, I could pay it in cash. So she took it as I had cash, and she knew I had a ton of cash in my safe. So she thought I had the cash. I didn't have all that cash. So that's where I'm assuming they got the $333,000 from.
But the offer that she bragged about was $1 million offer, isn't that right? That she ran her mouth about.
No. See, Katie was like, I don't want $1 million. I only want $1/3 I don't need $1 million.
I was never there when she spoke to her friend.
Okay, was it $1 million offer?
The offer was that $1 million was going to be paid, and I was going to pay $333,000.
And weren't you going to cover Wendy's third as well?
No, not at all. I was going to cover my third.
Didn't your lawyer say in opening statement that you were going to cover the whole thing? Or Wendy's third?
No, I was sitting here. I heard what he said. Charlie was going to pay $333,000.
All right. And so the offer was $1 million offer, and that's what you told Katie, along with the fact that you were going to cover the third.
I was telling her that I was going to pay $333,000, yeah. And then one day, if my sister was able to, she was going to pay me back.
And then you didn't have the amount of money that was being demanded at the time, right?
No, I only had what I had.
All right. And at that point, the blackmailer, Catherine Magbanowa, negotiates some type of layaway plan for you to complete the extortion with the Latin Kings?
Okay, Katie wasn't the blackmailer, and Katie wasn't the one who was extorting me.
Didn't you just tell this jury that Katie was the blackmailer? You realized it in 2019.
I had thought that when you were just talking, you were talking about 2014. You were talking about that night,
Okay.
so that night happened in
Doctor.
2014.
Okay. We all know now, because you have revealed the puzzle piece. She's a blackmailer. Can we agree on that?
I believe, sitting here in 2023,
Yes.
that she was in on the extortion for sure.
Yes. So is it okay if I refer to her as a blackmailer?
I think there's a difference between blackmail and extortion, but yeah,
Okay.
sitting here today, we can. Sure.
We'll refer to her as an extortionist. So this woman, the extortionist, is going to do you a solid by negotiating with the Latin Kings for you to get on a payment plan for the extortion. Isn't that what happened?
What you're doing is you're taking what we know in 2003 and trying to say, this is what I knew in 2014.
Did she put you on a payment plan?
Yes.
Yeah, because they had to pretend that they hired Katie as like the cleanup lady or some shit. Donna was writing checks out to her like every month or something like that. But like only to Katie, not the rest of the dudes.
She said, because I didn't have the money, she said, asked me if I could pay $3,000 a month in 2014. And I said, yes, I can.
Did you hear any of the conversation where she was making these negotiations on your behalf?
No, when she said, I'm going to go check with my friend and if that's okay with him, she took her purse, took her keys, took her cell phone, she walked out of my front door, closed the door behind her, and I sat in my living room, and she came back about 5 minutes later.
Why didn't you call the cops?
You didn't want to talk to the guy yourself?
No, I didn't even think of that. I mean, but she went outside to call him.
All right, and then the two of you took a Xanax and went to sleep.
Well, I took a Xanax. I don't know if she took one out of the bottle, but I definitely did.
And the next morning, she left with your money, right?
She left about 8:30 the next morning.
That's July 19th, 2014.
Correct.
Let's talk about what you did that day. You did not report this to the police because you were in fear, correct?
Absolutely.
And you didn't report this to Wendy, even though, according to you, her life was in danger too, correct?
Potentially, but I planned on paying the extortion every month.
All right, but you did go to the gym that morning, right?
Right, and then also, wouldn't you hire... Okay, so listen to this. Donna Adelson, afterwards, it was like, I think at Dan's memorial service, it was 2 days after the murder, she hired bodyguards to be there. I feel like if you had these extortionists coming after you, wouldn't you be looking over your shoulder? Wouldn't you want to hire bodyguards or someone to... You know what I mean? Like, if you're too scared to go to the cops, then, like, hire some bodyguards to make sure that they ain't gonna kill you or something like that. Oh, Lord.
That text, please. Were you able to go to the gym the next
I
morning?
absolutely didn't leave the house. I worked out at Nova Southeastern Gym. You can check the gym records. I was never there.
Okay. Did you say you were going to the gym?
I said I was, yeah.
But you didn't actually go?
No, I didn't leave the house.
I don't know. I watch a lot of I used to watch a lot of reality TV shows. I feel like Xanax is like, it's a common theme in reality TV shows.
All right. So would you agree, Doctor, and we'll refresh your memory with them if we can, that the text messages that were exchanged between yourself and Catherine McBanoa on the morning after this exchange of money were inconsistent with your extortion?
Do we have the
theory?
text thread?
They were inconsistent with how I was feeling.
They don't appear to look like you just gave her $138,000 under duress, do they?
She told me the last thing she said to me before she left the house is, can we just pretend like this never even happened? So when I sent her that message, I was trying to show her, like, I'm trying to forget all about it.
Yeah, you were just demonstrating to her that you would agree to pretend nothing happened, right?
Absolutely. That's what she asked me to do, and that's what I tried to do.
So the text messages aren't what they appear to be. It's a beautiful day. I'm going to the pool. I'm going to the beach. I'm going.
Yes, we have text messages. Oh, this is the best thing ever. There was a man who was convicted recently of murdering his ex-girlfriend's fiance. And he tried to say that it was because he was like autistic, has an OCD. He was like really obsessed with her. He was trying to blame his disease, I guess, and disorders. But the state was like, no, this is like completely premeditated, because they had his like Google search history. It was like, how to shoot a gun. Can you hire a hitman? What was the other thing? Oh, fuck. It was like stupid Google's. Oh, like how does police find like, you know, Google search histories or something like that. It was just like really dumb shit like that. I think apparently maybe it was that day he found out that his ex-girlfriend was getting engaged. And so he was like completely unhinged and went over to the ex's fiance's place and like shot him. Oh my God. People, they Googled the dumbest things ever. And then also like text messages, like, come on, like these text messages are out there. Like, I don't know. It's so funny to see them like worm in their chair and like in retrospect, try to explain what they were saying. Like, oh yeah, like, you know, it says, have a great day. It's a sunny day. And it's like, why would you be texting this if this woman just extorted you for money?
To the gym. None of that is what it appears to be. It's something else.
What does it say? I love this organization. Head to the gym. Are you taking the kids to the beach? It's so nice. It's beautiful. Probably the pool. Nice. Have fun. Ethan must be happy. Just got back from the pool. Hope you're you're doing okay. Hey, Charlie, I hope you're doing okay. I'm sorry that I extorted you for like, $250,000, but I hope you're doing okay. I'm okay. Thanks for asking. Just going to try to rest. Oh, God, Charlie, you think the jury are just idiots? This is so offensive.
I absolutely did not go to the gym. I was trying to show her that I was, pretending like nothing ever happened and looking past it.
Hi,
There's
Diane.
nothing on the wire. All those hours of you talking. There is nothing on the wire about the extortion, this layer 1 of extortion, because she told you not to talk about it, right?
She told me to never talk about anything to anyone or her. She never wanted to hear about it again.
Yesterday, in your testimony, between you and your attorney, you mentioned the word extortion 123 times. Would you take my word for that?
I'm sure it came up a lot.
Okay.
She count?
But nowhere, even in the midst of this whole second extortion, it's happening again. It's an extension of the same thing. Do you mention anything about this layer 1 of the extortion? Do you?
Yes, actually I did.
Okay.
If you pull up the video from Matsuri when I was sitting with my dad, and I said, and the funny thing is, that's what I whispered in his ear.
Oh, no. Wait, is it like I whispered in his ear, but you couldn't pick it up because I was whispering in his ear?
But we can't hear that.
Right, because that's my point. I never wanted anybody to hear what had happened. I never wanted the police to come talk to me. But if you put up that video, you'll actually see me saying that it's my dad's ear, and that's why I went in and said it. And that's what we were talking about at the time.
At Surrey, the only time you mention the extortion, it's in a whisper that is not picked up by the microphones, right?
Intentionally, yes.
Yes. And that was intentional at the time, but it sucks for your defense, right? Because that would be a huge piece of evidence for you to show this jury, wouldn't it?
No, I think you come up with a reason why that I said it anyway.
And there's nobody to corroborate this testimony?
Your dad?
There is.
Okay. And the Matsuri, you talked about it again out in the parking lot, right? Wasn't that your testimony?
Yes, we spoke in the parking lot.
Okay, so you did talk about the extortion.
That's
you just didn't do it in a way that it was captured on any of the recordings in this case.
Well, we spoke when we had privacy.
Well, you had privacy on the phone, right?
When?
I was watching Vanderpump Rules reunion recently because I was like super late to the game. I was watching the reunion, and because one of the girls had a restraining order on another girl, they had to split the two girls when doing the reunion. So like one girl be reacting the trailer while the rest of the people are on the set doing the reunion. I wish we could have a camera on Donna Adelson and Harvey and see their reaction to everything when Charlie's testifying. I just want to see their reaction. I mean, we're not going to get that, of course, but it would be so cool to see their reaction. Anyways, I thought it was so funny because like when they were on the stage talking, you would see like one of the girls' reaction in the trailer, and she was like reacting to like everything that was happening, and it was hilarious, man.
At least you thought you had privacy on the phone every time.
Hey, Thomas.
You were talking on the phone for
No,
hundreds of hours on this wire.
There's always a chance that I was being listened to.
Okay.
I mean,
well, there was a chance you were being listened to when you whispered in Dad's ear, right? But you said it. And you were talking about it.
I whispered real quietly into his ear, so I thought I had privacy. At that point, I thought I had privacy.
Darn,
Catherine
Charlie.
McVanoa and you discussed this first layer of extortion in the car outside of Dolce Vita too, right?
That's when I found out everything that was going on. And
I've listened to the Dolce Vita recording, the Matsuri one. Have I listened to that recording yet? It's like, who was that Matsuri again? It was like Charlie, his dad. Was there anyone else, or was it just them two?
She opened up when I
But
confronted
if
her.
this jury could hear that conversation recorded, we would all be hearing basically what you're telling us, that there was an extortion effort that predated the undercover operation. Wouldn't
Right.
we?
Because I was trying to see if Sigfredo was behind the extortion of my mom, because I knew he was behind. Always had a feeling he was behind what happened to me, and she was having this explosive fight with him, and it was going on the same exact time that my mom started getting extorted. So I thought that he was going after my mom.
Don't you wish that that conversation in the car had been recorded?
I don't know.
Wouldn't it prove your theory
Yeah,
that you're talking about, the
if I
prior
think about it,
extortion?
then you know exactly what happened back then.
But unfortunately, it wasn't recorded, and then everything that was recorded inside the restaurant, you don't mention it, right?
I'm speaking very carefully. I mean, I was still, even when I was in the car with Katie, she was doing most of the talking. That was the first time she really opened up, and I think I caught her off guard. I was still, even when I spoke to her in the car, I was real careful. I said, was T behind what happened to me? Like, I wouldn't even say the words to her when I was in the car.
Okay, was T behind what happened to me? Do you say anything anywhere on the wire about referencing what happened to me? Meaning, what happened to me before?
No, because that was the only time I ever confronted her. But I did actually when I would be on the wire with my mom, and I would say, this It's not the same person. Like, that was in reference to what happened to me, and she knew
What
that.
call do you say?
Sorry, when he's saying on the wire, does that mean like telephone call? The fuck does on the wire mean? Is that like an app or something? What does that mean?
The same person. Like, that was in reference to what happened to me, and she
What
knew
call
that.
do you say it's not the same person?
Okay, you want to know what call? It was
Yeah.
Tuesday, the 26th. And I said it's at the end of the call. It was a 2-minute and something call.
April 26th?
April 26th, 2016. It was a 2-minute and something call. It was towards the very end. And I go, I know it's not done like this. It's 48 hours. Just
Oh, okay. So like the phone calls that are being wiretapped. Gotcha. Okay. I was like, wait, why are we saying wired? Okay. Thanks, Stevie. Hi, Rain. Hello, Wayne. How are you doing today? Wait, Rain and Wayne? That sounds so... That was so weird saying it out loud. Hi, Rain, and hi, Wayne. Thanks, y'all. I was like, what are we talking about on the wire?
enough time. It's not the same person. So you can look.
Oh, I get what George is going with this. She's like saying, like, hey, like we wiretapped your shit and you did not mention this extortion that Katie put upon you.
It up.
And he's like, whoa, it's just too bad that it wasn't picked up. I don't know.
48 hours, just enough time. It's not the same person.
Hi, Dory.
So you can look it up.
Okay, I'm with you. It's not the same person you were referencing as the person that blackmailed me years ago. And has been blackmailing me for years.
Yeah.
That's what you meant.
It's not the same person that's extorting me, correct?
All right. So I want to go back to Wendy. Wendy is in the process of relocating from Tallahassee to South Florida, basically the day that this is going on, day after the money drop, right?
They're packing up the car. They're coming back. Yeah.
So she's going to be moving significantly closer to the killers that had threatened her life.
This what I don't. She wasn't planning. It wasn't a permanent move or anything that was planned. I think she took a suitcase with her.
Oh, true. Oh my God, this falls apart so easily. It's like Charlie. The people that extorted you live in Miami. Your sister was planning to move from Tallahassee to Miami. Why would you let her do that? She's gonna get closer to the killers. Oh no. Oh my God. He really does think the jury are just like full of idiots.
But she's your family member, yes. She's much closer to the one they've already killed than you, right?
Say it again.
She's much closer. She's got much deeper connections to the person they've already killed. That's Dan Markel, than you do.
Right.
I mean, there's a reason to fear for her safety because these killers have come, they've just killed Dan, and now they're saying they're going to kill another one. It could be Wendy, right?
She has no idea what's going on.
Exactly. But you let her move from Tallahassee to Miami where you knew the killers were located. That's my point.
Yikes.
Do you agree with that?
The killers were able to find Dan Markel in Tallahassee. They have a car.
They were. But would you rather live in Tallahassee or in Miami if the killers are in Miami?
I think if these people want to find you, they'll find you.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think. I mean, looking at Luis Rivera, I don't think a distance would stop him.
Okay. Where did Wendy and the boys...
Dude, and the fact that he smoothly, so easily just lies up on the stand. Oh, God.
live when she first moved to South Florida?
When she first moved to South Florida, she moved in with my parents into a small apartment. They actually had to get another apartment because that one was too small.
With your parents?
She moved in with them, yeah.
And I want to talk about the cameras. You bought cameras for the Adelson Institute in your home at Whale Harbor, right?
Yes.
The camera system, yeah. All right. And what about Wendy's? I guess she didn't have a place. So, like, wherever she was staying with your parents, were cameras installed there as well at that same time frame that you installed these cameras?
No, I never told her what happened, but they lived in a very secure building.
Isn't it true, Doctor, that you'd been planning to install those cameras for some time before the murder?
I actually already had cameras at my house that I had installed in 2008. The technology from 2008 to 2014 had changed a lot when it came to cameras.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I think you mentioned all that on Direct. I'm referring to this particular update that was done post-homicide. You were in communication with this camera guy, and I think your lawyer mentioned this.
Wait, where are we going with the camera? Oh my gosh, dude, there's this other case that I've been following that has been like making me mold so much. But the stepdad dropped off his daughter or stepdaughter mom's boyfriend. Mom's boyfriend drops off his girl's daughter at school, drops her off, okay, and she goes missing. And on that same day, he somehow accidentally factory reset his phone. How do you fucking accidentally reset your goddamn phone? God, these people, man. Oh, the lies, and they actually they expect people to believe it. It's like, oh, I don't know, I factory reset my phone. I don't know how I did it. I did it accidentally. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, we totally believe you. Sure. Mm-hmm.
You had 84 text messages with him dating back to January 20th of 2014 in regards to the update that occurred post-murder. Do you agree with that?
I know. There was always talk that we were going to get cameras in the office, and we just never got around to it. When this happened, that week, within probably.
Listen, I love Lord of the Rings, but he looks like a jacked up version of Frodo. Okay.
3 days, I called the camera guy up and I said, I want to get cameras in my house and my new cameras for my house, and I want to get cameras in my office. How soon can you come out and do it? And then he came out, I'd say 4 or 5 days after that, bought the equipment and installed it that week.
Did you hire a private investigator to help you with this whole problem you were having?
With the extortion?
Yes.
No, I didn't tell anybody.
Did you get a bodyguard?
No, I carried a gun on me, and I always sleep with a gun next to me in bed, and carried a gun on my person and had a gun in my car at all times.
Do you recall a statement you made on the Dolce Vita recording that said you were going to start carrying a gun?
Yeah, because for a long time, after this happened, I was carrying a gun, and it's uncomfortable, and I don't.
You know what? I love how Charlie keeps trying to come across as casual and laid back. I think he's had lots of practice with maybe Donna, maybe the dad too as well. Yeah, and then Donna probably gave Charlie that pep talk as well. Like, okay, what was it? What did she say about Wendy again? Wendy's gonna give the performance of her life or some bullshit like that. She probably said the same thing about Charlie. Okay, like, Charlie, you are gonna give the performance of your life. You're gonna convince these motherfuckers, these jurors in fucking Tallahassee's. Okay, these like broke back, like I don't know, these like country people, bumpkins. Okay, you're gonna convince them that you're the wealthy doctor, that you had nothing to do with this, and you're just this poor guy who was extorted by these people. These gang members, this Southeast Asian American girl, whatever. And like he was probably like, yes, mom, I got this, mom, we got this. And they probably practice. Okay.
It was like carrying a gun, so I hadn't carried a gun in a while, and I was going to start carrying one again.
But you did say in 2016, I'm going to start carrying one.
Yeah, I carried probably for about 4 to 6 months after this happened, and I wear scrubs, so the gun that I had can kind of stick out, and it's uncomfortable. I prefer not to carry a gun.
So you quit.
Wait, so I might have missed it. Where was she going with the camera thing? So like there was cameras, and then like he talked to some camera dude about updating his camera stuff, and it was post homicide, she said. Where were we getting with the camera thing? I might have missed it. Sorry.
Carrying it, but during the time you were still paying the extortion money.
Yes.
All right, and the extortion money that you were paying, $3,000 a month, that wasn't going towards the principal of whatever was left on the $333,000, right? Didn't you testify to that?
Correct.
All right, so you never came up with the remaining bulk of the money that you owed.
Never.
Wait, what about the money for the boob job? Was that also part of the extortion? What about the car, that like piece of shit car that she gave to Katie? They gave Katie a car, and I was like, oh, maybe they bought her like a brand new BMW or some shit. Like, no, they gave her like some old ass crusty car that was like that was Harvey's old car or something. Hi Yoshi, how are you doing today? How's it going? I think dude, this is so funny. I had someone come into my chat and their username is Corgi, like just Corgi. I want their username so bad. And it's funny because now when you guys are tagging me Corgi-san, it just tags Corgi. Oh, what an awesome username.
And nobody ever came after you for that?
No, they said you could pay it all off and it'll be done, or just pay $3,000 a month. So I thought about paying the full amount.
All right, then a couple weeks later, after the initial extortion, you and Catherine Magbanua broke up, according to your direct. Did I have that right?
That's not correct.
When did you break up?
Within a week. I met her, went out to dinner, went out to eat, and I just said, this has got to end.
All right, so you broke up with her.
Yes.
Weren't you scared that if you broke up with her that she would sick the Latin Kings on you?
Exactly.
No, because I had every intention of paying every month. When I broke up with her and I said, listen, I don't want to surround myself with this. I'm scared. She said that she was going to come every month and pick up the money and protect me. And
that goes against, remember, after she extorted him and took the money, the next day when they were texting and everything looked fine, he was like, oh, well, the reason why I texted her saying I'm going to the gym because I just want to make sure she knew that, like, things were okay and that, like, I was just chilling. I don't know. I feel like you wouldn't be breaking up with her then. You would just continue the relationship and let it fizzle out or somehow, like, maybe make her break up with you. Yeah, I don't know. Charlie, we're not buying it.
She understood. I mean, our relationship was on the rocks.
But you've testified that all the gifts and stuff that you gave her were to keep her happy, right?
Yeah, when I realized that she's the one who's protecting me and she wasn't a part of this extortion, I had no problem keeping her happy, and I looked for things to do, nice things to do for her because she was broke.
But not worried about pissing her off by breaking up with her?
Well, our relationship was definitely on the rocks. After July 1st, when Sigfredo cut me off and threatened me and called my dad, and then she knew I didn't even invite her to my dad's birthday party, which was a family gathering with family friends on July 5th. She knew we were going to be done.
After you broke up with Catherine Magbanua a week after the murder, did you continue to talk to her?
We still communicated, for sure.
Talk on the phone?
And texted, yeah.
And meet up?
No, the only time I would see her was I saw her again at the end of August. She came and picked up the money, and that's when she asked me if I could put her on the books because none of this money was going to her. And
was it an old Lexus? I just remember it was like an old car. At first I was like, oh, maybe it's like some retro restored Mercedes, like, you know, like one of those like really cool, like, I don't know, like old cars, right? That's been restored, looks like a classic or something like that. But then I think I read it. I was like, wait, what? They just gave her like was it like a 1998 Lexus? I don't know. It was something like that. And I was like, what? Yes, Corey is in the dog breed.
Needed to get health insurance for her kids. So I said, yeah, I'll do it and help you out.
And did you continue to hook up with her after the breakup? And by that I mean, you know, have sex with her.
There was one occasion. There was one time that we hooked up.
Okay, when was that?
Did you buy her
I wanna say
boobies?
it was probably about 5 months after we broke it up.
Okay, well there was one other occasion before that in October of 2014. Do you recall that? October 9th of 2014?
That's probably the occasion I'm talking about, because July, let me count the months, July, August, September, October. So, okay, so 4 months.
Okay, and there's another one on October 15th. You remember that one?
No, I think we did hook up about one time.
Okay, well one time on October 9th and one time on October 15th.
I thought it was one time. If it was 2 times, it's been
Could
10
it have
years.
been 2 times?
But no more.
Okay. And on August 25th, 14, that would have been after the breakup, right?
Yeah.
You text her, and then she replies, I don't need help, I'm good. Don't need favors, nor will I trust anyone again. Erase my number, please. Go on with your life like you did already and have been doing.
Wait, what happened?
Sorry we spoke today. I don't want to stress your life more. Don't do anything for me. Do you remember receiving that text from Catherine Magbanua?
Yeah, sounds familiar.
And that's a pretty weird text to get from the extortionist. You're meeting her to give her money. Why is she saying erase my number?
She's not the extortionist.
On
In 2014, I didn't think she was the extortionist.
Right, but it's been revealed that she was.
In 2019, so you're taking what was known in 2019, and you're
No, Charlie, you dumbass. She's trying to say that, like, if she was the extortionist, would an extortionist really sound like this? And he's saying that, like, oh, I didn't know she was an extortionist. But, like, yes. But now we know that she's an extortionist. Why would an extortionist say, hey, delete my number when he was still making payments to her?
trying to say I knew what I knew in
I'm not trying to say you knew. I'm trying to say she knew.
Georgia, I got you, Georgia. I got you, Georgia. I don't know if Charlie's like genuinely confused on the stand or if he's just playing dumb.
She knew she was the extortionist. Why is she telling you to erase her number and leave her alone?
Because I broke up with her.
Exactly. On 9/14 or 9/11 of 14, she sends you hashtag bestie for life. Do you remember that?
Sounds familiar.
So did you all have some kind of reconciliation after the breakup?
No, I was probably doing a favor and making her happy with something.
On 10/6 of 2014, I love you. It makes me feel good that you care about me. I'm lucky to have you as part of my life. Do you remember sending that to her?
Yeah.
On 10/9 of 14, I mentioned the sex talk. I won't go into the details of it. Again, 10/15, more sex talk. 10/23 of 14, thank you again for everything you're doing for my mommy. She sends you that. What were you doing for her mother?
I don't know.
Sex
I
talk.
think I did a consult for her, but I didn't do anything for her mom.
More sex talk.
2/24 of 15, you agree that she always knows how to make you smile, and you say I love you to her. Remember that?
Yeah, I cared a lot about Katie, and I didn't think that she was a part of this. So I was always trying to keep her happy and make her happy. And I felt like she got dragged into something that she shouldn't have been dragged into.
Okay, maybe.
Hi, Christine. How are you doing today? I mean, I think if Donna goes up there and testifies, I think we're going to see the same level of arrogance. I do. The arrogance. Oh, man. I don't want to say confidence. What's another word for confidence where it's like, what's the word that I'm thinking of? Arrogance. Fuck, there's another word for it. Confidence. What am I thinking of, guys? What am I thinking of? There's a word. Shiro's here. Shiro's hanging out. He's doing good. I mean, I feel like, I don't know, something about corgis. It's like they're always trying to kill themselves or something. They're always trying to get into some mess. They're always trying to eat things. It's like they just want to die. I don't know why. Shiro just keeps getting into trouble, you know? He keeps getting to things to get into. And I try so hard to like watch him to make sure that he's not eating cat poop, doesn't get Giardia again, but he's just a little troublemaker. Entitled was one of them, but that's not the word I was thinking of. Hubris came into my mind, but I felt like it wasn't strong enough.
But she dragged you into it as well.
I didn't see it like that at all. Our relationship actually got stronger. You know, initially when I got extorted, I had limited contact with her and I was cold to her. And then over time, I realized that she's the one who's protecting me and she's not involved with these people because the extortion never went up and Katie was always broke.
She was involved with them because she had a child with the guy, right?
I didn't know for sure it was him.
But you suspected always that it was him.
I always suspected that Sigfredo was behind this.
So wouldn't you want to distance yourself from this woman who, I mean, were you ever really that serious about her to begin with?
I mean, we spent 7-8 months together.
But you were never considering marrying her.
No, I wasn't considering
I mean, you were a playboy, right? You had a zillion girlfriends.
That is actually not even true.
Because life is hard when you have little legs and a big butt. He's got small legs and a big head. You hear that, Shiro? He heard you guys. I don't know if you guys can see him. He's in a little bed right now. He's so short and he's so low to the ground that like everything's just within like distance of him just like snatching up. You have to be really proactive, but oh my God. He's quick, man. He's a quick boy. Anyone say funny? Oh yeah, what's the judge is still is supposed to be making their rule about that, right? Cocky. Oh, cocky. Yes, that's the word that I was looking for. Cocky. Yes, thank you. Cocky. Gatsby. Oh, Gatsby's so cute. I wanted to get the Gatsby. What was it again? Was it a beach blanket or a tote? Oh my God, it was so cute. And they made like a little Gatsby, little like toy thing. Oh, so cute. I love Gatsby.
Okay. Did you have a lot of girlfriends?
I had 2 girlfriends in the 2 or 3 years after her. I dated Whitney Kick for 9 months.
Okay, but how many women were you talking to and engaging with sexually? A lot more than Whitney Kick, right?
There could have been 1 or 2.
Or more?
No.
Okay. Point being, you were not going to marry Catherine Magbanua.
I wasn't having marriage plans, no.
Okay. And you have now broken up with her after this incident.
Yes.
She's the person that's taking the money from you physically.
She's the one. I looked at it. She's the one who's protecting me. If she wasn't, I was going to get a visit from somebody.
Is she the one that was physically taking the money?
Yes.
Is she the one that was connected to the person you suspected to have killed your brother-in-law?
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was tied to that person. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the one that got you into this, right? Because she ran her mouth. Right?
I looked at that. I ran my mouth too. And if I never said anything to her, this would never have happened. So I felt responsible for saying something to her in the first place.
But you didn't feel responsible enough to try to do anything about her sitting in jail, an innocent woman, for 3 years. Did you?
She never contacted me.
You didn't offer to testify in her trial. You let her get convicted and get life in prison, didn't you?
I thought the truth was going to come out.
But not through you.
I was never contacted. I thought it was going to come out through her.
Was there any contact between your lawyers and her lawyers?
You'd have to ask them.
You said you didn't have any contact with her.
Did you have any contact? Zero contact with her.
So your lawyers didn't tell you anything on behalf of her lawyers?
Absolutely not.
And her lawyers didn't hear anything from your lawyers?
I don't know what lawyers talk about, but I can tell you that I never talked to Katie, and I never told my lawyers.
You never relayed a message through your lawyers that the Adelson family would not be talking in this case?
Absolutely not.
And she had nothing to worry about as far as that end was concerned?
That's not true at all.
I don't believe that.
Did you or your agent contact her brother to offer to assist with her attorney's fees in her case?
That's a complete lie.
Do we have the text messages?
On 10/27 of 15, you say you can't wait to get lunch with her. She's the best, and you're lucky to have her as a friend for life. Did you say that?
Yes.
10/27/15, you can't wait to get lunch with her. 10/30/15, you tell her you miss her. 12/9 of 15, again, you tell her she's the best.
Yeah, I said all those things.
Do you agree?
Hey, as long as Georgia doesn't get into like the phone sex talk stuff. You guys ever watch Jodi Arias' case where they were listening to the were they voice messages? I don't know why there were like recordings of like I think Jodi doing like phone sex or something like that, and like we're just like listening to it in like court. I was just like,
that this picture does not look like a relationship between an extortionist and her victim.
I agree, because Katie wasn't the extortionist.
She was the extortionist.
In 2014 and
No.
2015, I didn't believe that.
I know you didn't believe it, but we're looking back now, okay?
You know, it's like if you're going to quote me, date me. Like, what I knew in 2014 and what I knew in 2015 is not what I know now in 2023.
Okay, yes, I hear you. You didn't know then, and that's why you were nice to her.
Yeah, I thought she was protecting me.
Got it. And none of those factors that I pointed out weighed into that consideration. That she ran her mouth, that she brought the Latin Kings on you, she was taking the money from you.
Yes,
None
David.
of that counterbalanced it. You were still going to be friends with her and keep her happy.
You're wrong. I didn't know about the Latin Kings in 2014 or 2015.
Right. The love text, which is what I'm referring to all these texts, where you're still nice to this person after you break up with her. You're still doing favors for this person after you break up with her. And that's like a major problem for your defense, isn't it?
No, our relationship got stronger. I agree. Our relationship got stronger, but it was much different.
Isn't
How was he appear? Oh, you know what? I remember I wanted to watch this with you guys. It's dumb, but I haven't seen it yet. Oh yes, let's watch it real quick. It's like 3 minutes long.
What I enjoy most about our practice is
This
restoring
music.
a person's smile. That often changes their personality and gives them a more positive outlook on life. Our practice uses the most modern
State-of-the-art.
dental technology, from
Friendly
rotary
customer
endodontics,
service.
computer-generated ceramic restoration,
Professionals.
digital radiographs, intraoral photography, and of course,
we get to see Charlie in
we
here?
use nitrous oxide and
Oh,
oral
there's Charlie.
sedation for the highest level of patient
Whose car we got there? Harvey Adelson, Charlie Adelson.
comfort and relaxation. What I enjoy most
Oh, wait, this
about
is
our
just like a
practice
compilation of all the
is
commercials?
restoring a positive
Hey, that's so funny.
we patient.
Does he talk?
My name is Dr. Charlie Adelson, and I am a
Hello? What is this? What is this audio? I can't hear shit. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna really boost it if you have headphones on. Just be careful.
periodontist, owner, and co-partner with my father, Dr. Harvey Adelson, who's a cosmetic dentist.
Wait, can you? I couldn't hear anything. Did you guys hear anything? I could not hear shit. I didn't hear anything. What did he say?
What I love about what I do is being able to restore people's smiles and change the way they chew, change the way they live, and change their self-esteem.
Oh, hold on a second. The audio's fucked. If you're listening on the right earbud, it's not working. On the left side, it's only on the left side.
And how they think about themselves on a daily basis. When a patient comes to my office, they're being treated like family, and it's also being a team approach.
You know, Dan Markel was at some point family, and look at how he was treated.
Where the hygienist, the cosmetic dentist, and the periodontist are all working together to give them the optimal result.
Experiences had I would
office, have my cousin Tyler.
Oh, I feel bad for the testimonials. Take them out of here. Take them out of here. I'm pretty sure they don't want to have anything to do with this.
that why she has to be?
I agree. Our relationship.
And that's like a major problem for your defense, isn't it?
No, our relationship got stronger. I agree. Our relationship got stronger, but it was much different.
Isn't that why she has to be an innocent conduit between you and the bad guys? Because if those texts didn't exist, she would be the extortionist and the bad actor in this whole thing, right?
I'm not following your theory.
You have to explain away those texts, don't you, Doctor?
No, I have to sit here and tell you the truth. And now you're finding it out.
Listen, we're just late to the truth, okay? Charlie had the truth with him the entire time, and we're just late to it, okay? He's filling us in right now. What a great guy.
Most people don't send kissy faces to people that are extorting money out of them. I mean, she was taking your money.
Again, Ms. Cappleman, she was not extorting me at the time.
That's not how it's done, is it?
I'm telling you how it was done.
So then over these next 2 years, you would meet her monthly and hand over a bundle of checks and $3,000 in cash, right?
No, you're wrong.
Okay, tell me.
I would hand
Tell me
over
I'm wrong.
$2,000 in cash and a bundle of checks.
$2,000 in cash and a bundle of checks. And so over the course of 2
Dude, seeing him sit here be so smug and like just now he like shook his head at Georgia. It's like no one's playing this act. I'm sorry, we're not.
Checks.
$2,000 in cash and a bundle of checks. And so over the course of 2 years,
You guys ever seen someone at customer service line and they are just like generally in the fucking wrong, but they'll try to rally everyone around to be on their side by like being all fussy about it and make it like, oh, God, I can't believe this. Like, oh, can you guys believe this? Like, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing this to me. It's like, bitch, you're in the wrong. Shut up.
I'm terrible at math, but that's roughly how much money? Because I think I did $3,000. It's $48,000 in cash, in addition to the $138,000 you provided the night of. Do you agree with that?
If your math is correct, I'm just telling you what I paid her each month.
And the checks, which is another $17,000, right?
You're doing the math.
Okay. It was a lot of money. Was it a lot of money to you?
It was a lot of money to me, yeah. I work hard.
Did the extortionists, whoever they were, ever try to increase the payments or come for more money?
The extortion never went up, and Katie was always broke. And that's what led me to think that she was not a part of this. Because she could...
Hey, doing math on the spot is a little bit hard, okay? Wait, really? The thumbnail was from the Rush shooting on your video? Do I have the wrong thumbnail up?
Could have easily jacked up the payments.
Well, she's sharing $3,000 a month with...
Whoops. Shit. Why is Hannah on my thumbnail? Oh my God. You're the first person to say that's subliminal. Your thumbnail's Hannah. Oh no. Whoops. Did I forget to change my thumbnail? Oh, dude, people were probably like, what the fuck is going on with Corgi? Listen, I had my blood drawn this morning, okay? I went to the doctors. I woke up early today. I have issues. Hold on. Subliminal, thank you. I saw your comment earlier and I was like, wait, what are they trying to say? Is it updated now? Shit. Thank you, Subliminal. Thank you, David. Or was it, who said the other one? Yeah, your thumbnail's Hannah. Whoops.
A bunch of other people, right? At least one other person.
I didn't think she was sharing it. Why is she coming to me for $300 for her kid's birthday?
Because she's...
Wait, okay, I gotta go back. I'm so sorry. I had the wrong thumbnail. I hope YouTube will. YouTube, please update it for me. I don't know if they'll update it for me. I don't know how it works.
Well, she's sharing $3,000 a month with a bunch of other people, right? At least one other person.
I didn't think she was sharing it. Why is she coming to me for $300 for her kid's birthday?
Because she's broke.
Because she wasn't getting any of the money.
Half of $3,000 doesn't do much when you're living in Miami with 2 kids to feed, right?
I didn't think.
Oh, he's trying to say that the monthly payments were not going to Katie. The monthly payments were going to whoever was extorting him through Katie. Oh my Lord, this is so convoluted.
Sharing anything.
Well, even if she was sharing it, that's your point. She must not have been taking the money because she was broke. And my point is, she could have been taking half the money and been broke.
That's not how I saw it.
That's not a lot of money.
That's not how I saw it.
Tell me about Dan Markel a little bit. What you sort of said, what I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, was he was, a nice enough guy, typical Wendy boyfriend, but not really your kind of guy.
Yeah, I think it's an accurate description.
All right. Do you agree that he was this brilliant legal mind?
I think he was a little nerdy, nice guy. Just kind of like the average guy that my sister dated.
Not the kind of guy you want to have a beer with, though.
We never had a beer together. I mean, not that I wouldn't have had a beer if he wanted to have one. We just didn't have that much in common, but he was always nice to me.
Do you appreciate the fact that his death was a terrible loss to his sons?
It was horrible.
Do you think they were better off without him?
Absolutely not.
Did you host a celebration dinner after his murder?
That's a complete lie.
Oh, I want to know more about the celebration dinner. They kept bringing this up, the celebration dinner. I think this was weeks after Dan Markel was murdered, and then Wendy, for some reason, threw up at the table. Ew, gross. Ugh.
On The Wire, would you agree that the Markel boys were in the background pretty much of every call you had with your mom, and you hear them a lot, right?
My sister was working, so my parents would help my sister out, yeah.
Yeah, and it was summertime, so they were out of school, I would assume.
I don't know if it was every call, but they definitely helped my sister out for sure.
All right, and those calls captured Donna pushing them on the swings, that call that tortured all of us a couple times. Remember that one?
Yeah, there was a call where she was pushing them on the swings.
Taking them to tennis lessons.
That was the same day. I mean, that was the same call that got broken up, and she called me back, but yes.
Doing their bedtime routine.
Helping my sister out, for sure.
Reading stories, brushing teeth, getting haircuts, going to piano, story time and bedtime, all of that kind of stuff.
All stuff that parents and grandparents do, you're right.
All right, she even said to you on one of the calls regarding the bedtime routine that, quote, we have a whole routine going. Do you remember that?
I have a whole routine with my son. I mean, I think it's normal with kids. You have a routine to put them to bed.
Right,
You
all the
brush
kind
your
of
teeth.
things.
Can't forget to brush your teeth.
Yeah. Well, dental humor couldn't hurt, right?
What's that?
All the things that your mom wouldn't have been able to do as readily if the kids were living in Tallahassee. Agree with that?
I mean, when they come up to visit them, they'd be doing the same thing.
Sure, when they came up to visit, but now they're doing it every day, right? Almost every day.
Not every day, but when my sister needed them, she helped them out.
And these are all things, these little routine things that Dan Markel will never be able to do with his sons. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Does your mom have a favorite child?
She says she doesn't have favorites, but I don't think she likes my older brother.
Okay. But is Wendy the favorite?
I'd like to think it's a tie between me and her.
Does your mom worry more about Wendy than
Yeah, I feel like Wendy was definitely like the coddled one.
you?
But she's the youngest, right? Yeah, she's the youngest.
Let's
I don't
do
really get.
before this case.
No, I don't. I mean, I don't. I think maybe in different parts of my life, she's probably more concerned about me. Different parts of my sister's life, she may be more concerned about her.
Is it true that your mom has a tendency to worry herself sick if there's something going on with one of you kids?
No, I mean, she's a concerned mom, but I think she's a normal mom.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The older brother Rob was on a podcast that we listened to. Yeah, it seems like he cut the family off. Good for him, because his family had drama with his current wife. So I mean, I'd probably be doing the same thing. It's like, oh my god, like I don't want to deal with this family. Like, look what they did to Dan Markel. They didn't like me at some point. What if something happens to me? I don't know. I would be so paranoid. So it's a good thing they cut him off. It's a good thing he cut them off.
She pretty worried about Wendy's marital problems?
No,
She wasn't.
I think she'd get upset when my sister would tell her things that Danny was doing and going to work, bad mouthing her. But I think any parent would get upset.
But also she would meticulously go through all the filings and send long emails detailing her thoughts about every filing in this divorce.
No, I don't think that's the case at all.
Okay. Did she hate Dan Markel?
I think she liked him in the beginning, for sure. And I think when he was being a jerk to my sister, I don't think anyone particularly liked him when he was being a jerk.
What about around the time that he was killed? Did your mother hate Dan Markel?
No, I think it kind of like tapered off. I think she only disliked him when he was being mean to my sister. Other than that, nobody had a problem.
He
with
was being mean to your sister during these divorces.
And remember, this family had Dan Markel killed because was Dan Markel abusing Wendy in any way? Was it like physical abuse? Was it like severe emotional abuse? No, it's because he was being mean to her. They said like, oh, he made her feel like she wasn't as smart. I feel like it was just like an ego thing.
Proceedings and subsequent litigation, right?
I think it was on and off. I think it was sporadic.
And then remember, Wendy's the one that one day like moved out all of her shit, took her 2 kids with her, and he had to deal with a divorce. They had to go through the divorce stuff, and of course he was gonna fight with her back and forth, and the kids and all that stuff. But like, dude, I don't know, it's just so wild to me. This family is like crazy. They are fucking batshit crazy.
And when your mom's worried about Wendy, does she come to you for solutions or to talk things out?
No, I don't think worried is the right word to describe it.
Does she ever make Wendy's problems your problems?
No.
Like convincing you to get Wendy to pull the plug on the house on Halloween 2013? Didn't she convince you to sort of take up that cause?
No, that was actually me. I shared my thoughts on homeownership for my sister. That was all me.
Didn't you say that if she had bought that house, that would have been the second worst decision of Wendy's life?
I thought it was going to be a stupid decision to buy that house.
And what was the first worst decision of Wendy's life?
Oh, I thought looking at hindsight 2020, I think when she'd agreed when she married Dan.
And during this time, Wendy was a grown-ass fucking woman. Like, I think she was in her, like, 30s, mid-30s, right? She wasn't, like, a teen mom or anything like that where she needed a mom and, like, older brother to come help her out in her marriage and shit. She was, like, a grown-ass woman in her, like, fucking mid-30s, okay? She had, like, 2 kids. They were married for a couple of years. Like, crazy is what crazy doesn't.
And did you convince her to take a particular job as well? Remember that call?
Yeah, she got an offer from a law firm, and she was debating whether or not she should take it. She didn't know if it was exactly what she wanted to do. And I was like, hey, you don't know what you don't like doing until you've done it. Seems like a great opportunity. Like, why not do it? Learn the job skill. It's a skill you don't. She's like, well, I don't have that skill. And I'm like, well, it's a good opportunity to learn it, and you may like it. And if you don't like it, then try something else. But I was trying to encourage her to take what sounded like a great opportunity.
And Mom shared your thoughts, and I'm referring to Donna Adelson, shared your thoughts about this opportunity being a good one for Wendy, right?
I probably heard about the job from my mom, but I definitely heard about it from my sister because I'm talking to my sister about it.
Yeah, I mean, the job was not what she had any experience in, right? It was a whole other field of law.
Then that was my point. It was like, well, why not take it if they're offering it to you and you can learn something new? It sounds like a great opportunity.
Do you and Donna know what's best for Wendy better than she knows herself?
Mm-hmm.
No, but not at all.
Mm-hmm. Were you a spy when it came to Wendy? Did you get information from Wendy and relay it to Donna?
At times, because I was dating Bree, and Bree worked for Dave, so I would I would hear stuff about Dave from Bree, so I kind of had an inside. I got inside information.
In what capacity did Bree work for Dave?
Dave was his. After she graduated from college, she was working as a nanny for Dave.
All right. And how old was Bree during the time you were dating her? Was she significantly younger than you?
She was 24, and I was 39.
Is Bree the mother of your child?
She is the mother of my child, yeah.
All right, so back to Wendy and Donna. So Wendy, was she tight-lipped with Donna about her private life?
I don't think she shared everything.
But she would tell things to you that she wouldn't tell to Donna.
I can't say that for sure.
Can you play clip 1, please? Publishing call EEE.
What's the clip?
EEE.
I love it when they're like, get the exhibits up. All right, what are the exhibits? What do we got here? This is his attorney, and then also Donna hired him for her trial too, which is like weird, but I mean, I heard that she was also going to hire like a local lawyer, local to Tallahassee.
Yeah, would you?
Baby boy was Mama's messenger boy. I can see that. Oh god, what is this audio gonna be bad?
Where are you going? On this way, just stop off at there and fast. Where are you? Where are you going? On this way, just stop off at there and fast. Anyway, so I just put the date no. Oh, did you? So I just called him an old fart. She's a few months older than me. But so actually, soon for his birthday, it turns out Wendy's making him a little party in Fleetwood. Oh, really? Yeah, Wendy goes like very tight-lipped. You're not kidding. So what you need to do is, she's obviously tight-lipped for a reason. It's because she doesn't want you to know anything. Anything. So my point is, if she doesn't want you to know anything, then don't ask anything. I don't know. Be happy. Yeah. And then I can find everything out and just tell you. I know. It's great. So I was like, so what are you doing for your birthday? It's like, well, Wendy's making me like a little birthday dinner, a little get-together party. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. He's like, yeah, she's doing it. He's like, I don't know anything. All I know is Wendy's putting it together for me, and she's doing it in Woodwood. Oh. So I'm like, oh, that's not.
Oh, why didn't they show us this from the get-go? I'm trying to listen to this. Just show me the transcript.
Awesome. All I knew is that she was going straight from work to the hotel where everybody is meeting for this Miami Fellows thing that she got. And that she was going to be there tonight because it starts early, first thing tomorrow morning. Right. So I guess in between, she managed to do something else. Which makes me happy. I'm really glad. Oh, yeah. I couldn't imagine. Oh. Yeah, he sounded good. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember yesterday saying...
I heard it was something about, I guess, maybe Wendy being tight-lipped, and she's tight-lipped because she doesn't want Donna to know some things.
You were telling a story about Katie coming in from having had some kind of altercation with Garcia, and she had reported that the necklace had been pulled off her neck. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
All right. And when you were relaying that story to the jury, you used a specific term describing what Garcia had done to her. Do you remember what that term was?
Or was it?
It was only yesterday, but you'll have to refresh my memory how I described it.
You said he roughed her up.
That's accurate.
And that put my antenna up because that roughed them up is the exact same phrase that Catherine Magbanua said in her proffer that you used on Halloween 2013 when you first approached her about, does she know anyone who can rough someone up?
No, I think getting roughed up is an adjective, but what you're doing is the same thing you did with your TV theory. Is like you heard TV mentioned multiple times, so you You put the whole case together with the TV.
Okay,
And
we'll
you're
get
putting
to
the
the
whole
TV.
case together with the word roughed up.
Oh, don't worry. She'll get to the TV part. The TV part makes y'all families look really bad.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm
think
not
if
putting the whole case together.
One moment. Don't speak over each other.
But that's
Please wait for him to answer, then you can ask your next question. Go ahead.
But that's an unusual. I mean, it's a specific term. I'm not making a whole case out of it. But did you say roughed up in both places?
Katie was roughed up by Sigfredo when he tore the necklace off of her neck, yes.
And isn't that the same term you used when you first broached Catherine Magbanoa about did she know someone who could rough up someone else?
Never in my life have I ever asked her that question. Never in my life. That conversation never took place.
Did you ever hear Donna Adelson refer to Dan Markel as stupid?
No.
Were you laughing when Wendy was on the stand and I read all the names that Donna referred to Dan Markel as?
No, I laughed when you said the word fucker in court.
Okay. What did she mean when she said Dan Markel was trying to take her sunshines away? Do you know?
My mom never said that.
Oh,
So
so you never
that,
heard
was
her say
that was made up, and he put it in a court filing, and then now it becomes something that my mom said because someone made it up and put it in a court filing.
We've heard Donna say sunshines before. I remember hearing it. I don't know if it was in a phone call or did I read it in, I don't think it was in a transcript. Was it an email? But I remember her referring her grandchildren as like sunshines before.
Now it becomes something that my mom said because someone made it up and put it in a court filing. My mom never said that.
Did your mom refer to the children as her sunshines?
No, the kids were 3 and 4. A 3 and 4-year-old can't repeat a conversation.
3 and 4-year-old. Yes, they can. I have a 2-year-old and a half who tells us about the drama that happens at our daycare.
And remember words 6 hours later and repeat it accurately. I have a 5-year-old son. Never seen a 3 and 4-year-old do that. So it was made up, and now you're repeating it.
Maybe not accurately word for word, but at least the gist of it.
Okay. Have you been a good brother to Wendy?
I've always tried to be a good brother.
Which conversation? The rough up someone or which one? No, I don't think 3 and 4-year-olds are used as court witnesses. That'd be a little too much. I don't think so. I know like sometimes police will interview them, but court witnesses, I don't know about that.
It sounds like maybe you're not agreeing that this was a really nasty divorce, or are you agreeing it was a nasty divorce?
I mean, I don't think any divorces can be pleasant, but I think they definitely had their fights. I mean, they were fighting over bicycles and all kinds of crap.
But in addition to that, Dan Markel accused your sister of fraud, right?
He made an accusation, yeah.
Threatened her with federal kidnapping charges.
Oh, that's a new one. You just told me.
That one's in the emails that are in evidence. Did you review those?
I didn't review the federal kidnapping charges in this case.
Was seeking contempt proceedings. You heard about that here in court, yes?
I heard about that, yeah.
Even went after her lawyer personally, right?
He made serious threats against her lawyer.
And her bar card.
Because what happened was Dan Markel said that the kids went up to him and was like, oh, grandma thinks you're stupid. And he was like, oh, why does grandma think I'm stupid? And they were like, oh, grandma says you're trying to take her sunshines away. Which, I could totally see a kid repeating that.
Could have been in jeopardy if any of those, or some of them.
I heard the other day she was saying that I guess her lawyer, he was threatening her lawyer's bar card.
Her lawyer's bar card as well as Wendy's.
He was making lots of threats and writing lots of stuff, I guess.
And he messed with your mom too, didn't he, in that grandma motion? You know which one I'm talking about?
I don't think he was messing with my mom. I mean, nobody took that seriously, and I don't think anyone even knew about it.
Isn't your mom... I'm sorry, finish.
I said I don't think anyone even knew about it till years later.
Isn't your mom notorious for always getting worked up about everything?
She gets upset. I mean, she's a concerned mom. I mean...
But is she notorious for getting really worked up about everything?
To a certain extent. I mean,
aren't those your own words from Call S that's in evidence in this case?
Yeah, to a certain extent. That certain extent is a murder, isn't it? Instead.
Those are my words, but you can't, not to an extreme, but she does worry, especially when like Latin King gang members are extorting her for money.
Did your mom take the grandma motion seriously?
I don't think she even knew about it.
She didn't talk to you about it?
No. I didn't find out about it until years later.
Wasn't this divorce a big deal in your family?
It didn't affect my life, I can tell you that. So I don't think that's true. I think it was a big deal in my sister's life.
Why did Wendy testify that she was getting along well with Dan Markel just prior to his death? Can we agree that's not true?
I think there were ups and downs in how they got along. I mean, you got to ask her. She was on the stand. I mean, I wasn't living her life.
Is it part of your defense to minimize how nasty and contentious this divorce was?
My defense is to tell the truth.
Who's this back here? Is she looking the jury? I feel like everyone's like looking over here. Are they looking the jury right now?
Did you have any input on the decision to change the boys' names from Markel to Adelson?
Absolutely not.
Do you and Donna have to protect Wendy?
No.
Does Wendy appreciate everything you and Donna do for her?
You got to ask her. I mean, she's my sister. I love her. I try to give her my best advice I can. And if I care about her, and I give her my advice, whether she takes it or not, is up to her.
Well, according to a recent phone call, Donna was saying that Wendy was being a little ungrateful, that she's just being used as a glorified babysitter.
She's a grown woman.
Let me ask it another way. Do you feel, or isn't it true that you don't feel, that Wendy appreciates everything you and Donna do for her?
My sister had no idea what I've been through in the last, God knows how many years, and what I wake up worrying, am I going to get killed? Am I going to get arrested? And she knows none of it. She's just going around her life, and I had somewhat of an innate anger towards her. You know, probably unjust because she didn't know what happened. But yeah, I was upset.
And weren't you saying on the wire that she doesn't appreciate what you and Donna have done for her?
I don't know if I said that she doesn't appreciate what I've done for her, because I never did anything for her.
Okay, so that was my next question. What have you done for her? Nothing?
Other than give her advice and care about her, and be a big brother that loves her.
Would you say Wendy's a little bit spoiled?
In some regards, I mean, she gets a lot of help, for sure.
How old is Wendy now? Like 40, 45?
Less savvy about how the world works than you are?
I don't know. I mean, you got to ask her.
Could you trust Wendy with a secret that could ruin your life?
It's not a secret. It's something that would get me killed, so I didn't want to tell her.
Can we agree that she obviously knew something about this crime?
Wendy and her big mouth. Wendy and her big mouth.
Found out when she came to court. I never told her anything.
I'm talking about the murder, Dan Markel. She knew something, right? I mean, it's not a coincidence she went to the crime scene, is it?
You're talking about the route that she took that day?
I'm talking about her pulling up to the crime scene tape.
She never went to the crime scene. She was going to buy a bottle of liquor that, coincidentally, the person sent her a stock the bar party for buy a bottle of Bullet bourbon.
That was just completely out of the way, out of her route.
She was going to pick up. She wasn't driving to a crime scene. And I think she made that clear, too. Nobody knew a murder was taking place.
She literally drove to the crime scene and then drove all the way back to buy the liquor and then went to the restaurant. Like, this is so wild.
Pulled up to the crime scene tape, Dr. Adelson.
She didn't pull up to the crime scene tape. She was driving down the street and then had to make a U-turn. It was blocked off. But she wasn't going to.
She couldn't help herself.
Nobody knew a murder was going to take place.
She exposed you all to some degree by those actions, didn't she?
No. Not at all.
And then she threw you under the bus in her interview, didn't she?
Yes.
Nobody knew a murder was going to take place.
She knew her husband had just been shot, and they were asking her who would want him dead, and she said, your name. Are you mad?
If y'all haven't watched the interviews yet, watch the interviews that she did. I uploaded 3. Oh, wait, did I upload the last one? Should be a 3-part series on my YouTube channel. Watch the interview. Oh, my goodness.
About that?
No, she said a lot of people's names.
Well, she said yours in the first 25 pages of a 5-hour interview. Isn't that true?
Yep.
I wasn't there for the interview.
But you've reviewed it in preparation for your trial, haven't you?
I actually don't know if I've seen her interview.
No, I feel like they watched it religiously and they were probably like, what the fuck, Wendy? Because Wendy was like, oh, I mean, it could be my brother. You know, he offered to hire a hitman, you know, instead of getting me a TV or something like some bullshit like that. Oh, no, he offered to hire a hitman, but then he got me a TV instead. And then she brought up her family, her mom, her dad. Like, she kept trying to throw them under the bus, okay?
There was a lot of questions of you about, you know, didn't you do this murder with Wendy? Doesn't the state think you did this murder with Wendy? Are you familiar with your charges in this case?
Yes, I'm very familiar with my charges.
Right. And who are you alleged to have done this murder with?
I'm alleged to have done this murder with my sister, my mom, and my dad.
Would it refresh your recollection to review a copy of the indictment in this case?
I'm a slow reader, but I can read it if you want.
May I approach, Your Honor?
Okay.
Hey, Yefro. Who's
This is
Sheldon?
the official charging document in your case, Dr. Adelson. What does it say in reference to who you are alleged to have committed the murder with?
This is, what day is this? 2022. Oh, they think I did a murder with Katie.
Catherine Magbanua.
Yes.
Anybody else?
Give me a minute, I'll read. They got Luis Rivera in here. They got Sigfredo Garcia.
As being alleged to have committed the murder with you?
Did I read it too quick?
Take your time. About July 18th, 2014, did unlawfully.
Okay. Yeah, Katie. Catherine.
Okay.
Yeah, so weird how none of the Adelson family, the mom, the dad, aren't there to support.
Are you mad that Wendy hasn't been charged and you have?
No, I'm mad that I got charged for a crime that I didn't commit.
Do you have any innate anger with Wendy over that fact?
No, not at all.
Are you pissed that she told all that stuff to Jeff Lacoste?
I don't think she said that to Jeff, but I wasn't there.
How did Lacoste?
Okay, we're at the halfway mark. I'm going to come back to this. I do want to jump to this one right here. This one is... Oh, do I want to jump to this one? 32 minutes? Oh, let me think. Yeah, let's watch a little bit of this one.